In this YouTube video, I'm going to be going over my philosophy on sales. And I'm not going to sit here and say it's the best philosophy and all of this. It's just what I've experienced from taking sales calls, from seeing all of my clients take sales calls, from speaking about it with a bunch of salespeople. And this is truly what I believe is a great philosophy to kind of have and to kind of approach sales with. Now, I'm just going to get straight into it. You need to understand, what are your current beliefs about sales? Are you trying to learn something to maybe manipulate someone? Are you learning something to just use in every single call? And you really need to think about that, because why would you use something in every single call when you're going to be speaking to different people who have had different life experience, different journeys that have brought them to you? And the same thing is not going to work every single time. So you need to understand that using these tricks and everything that you're trying to learn in these scripts, they're useless, absolutely useless, and they're going to get you nowhere. And that's what separates the people who make money in sales and the people that don't make money. People that don't make money follow scripts. They try to get the best tonality for every single question. They think that learning every single way to handle an objection is truly going to solve the problem. Whereas the people who are actually successful at sales sit down with the person, bring them to their side of the table. You go to their side of the table and understand them. And that's why high ticket sales is such a important skill, because you have to shift someone's beliefs in 30 to 45 minutes. And that's why closers get paid the big bucks, because that is an art. That is a skill to have, to truly understand and know people well enough and ask great questions within that time span. It's not easy. So what I'm trying to say is sales is bullshit. Tonality, objection handling, scripts, it's all bullshit. All of it. Because it's not what's going to allow you to grow and develop and turn into someone that's actually a good salesperson. A good salesperson does the same thing over and over and over again and expects different results. There's a reason why that thing of pick up the phone and start dialing from that movie, right? We all know what movie that is. If you don't, you miss out. But the reason that term is used is because it's the same thing you're doing every single time, and you're basically just doing a numbers game. And sales isn't a numbers game. It doesn't have to be. It's just about having a conversation, a tough conversation at that, with the person you're speaking to, understanding what's preventing them from moving forward, understanding their beliefs in themselves, their beliefs in you as the salesperson, and the beliefs they have in the business that you represent. And that's what we're going to talk about, right? So the first one, belief in themselves. What do I mean by that? Well, what you have to understand, like I said earlier, every single prospect before they jump on a sales call has gone through different life experiences, has gone through different journeys, and has managed to be on that call with you. But they have all done it differently. And all of those experiences have affected their way of thinking, have affected their confidence, and everything you can imagine about them. So they are obviously going to have, limiting beliefs about themselves. Fear, that fear of taking action, that fear of what if this doesn't work because I can't make it happen. It happens, right? And I can give you a great example, because I had a sales call he's a client of ours, right? Because I managed to shift his belief. And we speak about it and we joke about it. Because he's like, Nico, how did you shift my belief? How did you do it? How did you do it? And the truth is, I tied down the other two beliefs, having belief in me and having belief in, obviously what we do. But what it was is he was too scared that he couldn't do it, that it couldn't work. That was his belief. And what I did, right, to break it down into simple terms, is I understood what he wanted from the get-go and what he was doing. And he was a very switched on person. He was someone that knew what they wanted, and he was someone that was going to, achieve his goals. And he is achieving his goals. He's absolutely crushing it. But he had that lack of, trust in himself from all the experiences that he had dealt with before in the past. He mentioned he had heard about scams and stuff and all of this as well, and that may have played into it as well. And that's why it's important that you understand what they've gone through before they've actually jumped on that call with you. And what I did with him was very simple. I broke down, what's worst case scenario, right? Worst case scenario is, let's say, in this case, it was learn sales. You don't make money. But the truth is, money doesn't really matter, right? What matters is you need to achieve your goals. Money comes and goes. Time does not. Whether you're a rich man or a poor man, you have the same amount of time. So knowing that money comes back, and knowing that he wasn't going to go homeless by making this investment into himself, and he was going to be okay, that took his fear way down. It takes the risk down, the risk factor in his head, because it makes it, worst case scenario is actually not that bad. And then we had that discussion about best case scenario. what will happen if you take action. And the thing is, he's going to learn sales. He's going to be able to travel and do the shit he wants to do in life. And that's exactly what got him in. It was understanding what is best case scenario and giving that belief. Like, I had to pump belief into him that he could do it, because he was a very competent person. And I was right in assuming that, and knowing that, even not really assuming. Don't assume in sales. Because within the first week, right, he landed a job. Within the first 2 weeks, he closed his first ever sales call. So I knew what I was doing, right? And so that is something that takes a lot of, I don't want to say skill, but it takes a lot of repetitions to get to that point. Because you really have to understand the person you're speaking to and how to get to that point. And it comes from asking good questions and really understanding what they're talking about and what they mean by what they're saying. So clarifying a lot throughout the sales call. Then the second thing is belief in me, right? Belief in the salesperson. If the prospect has no belief in you as a salesperson, good luck, right? As a salesperson, you have a very important job. You are literally the gatekeeper for businesses and them making money. And that's why you make money. When they make money, you make money. When you make money, they make money. You are the gatekeeper to that. So you need to represent the business very well. You need to have a good background. You need to look professional. And you need to look like someone who is actually serious. On top of that, you need to be transparent. You need to be an authority figure. And you need to show authenticity. And a great way to do all of that is by asking questions. That's it. Sounds simple, but trust me, it takes a lot of practice, like I said, and repetition. You need to ask questions that have emotion behind it. You need to ask questions that brings the true emotion out of the prospect. Why, let's say, you want to be a dropshipper? Why do you want to be a dropshipper? Because you want to make money. Why do you want to make money? Why is that important to you, making money? Because I want to look after my family. And you really just dig deeper into that, right? You just dig very, very, very deep until you get the true emotion. And the true emotion is it will bring in fulfillment and it will bring that person happiness to do those things. And it allows the prospect to paint a picture in their head of what the future will look like if they do this. And it's so important. And what you need to understand is that not only is it about asking good questions, but it's about being present. Because if you're not present, you're not asking good questions. And it's a big issue I see a lot of salespeople have, and it's a big issue I actually had. Because, like I said, you're the gatekeeper for businesses making money. It's a lot of money you're talking about in high-ticket sales. You have to normalize that. I was on an offer where millions was discussed very regularly and nonchalant. And I had to just deal with it. But inside I was like, holy shit, that's a lot of money, right? And I was just thinking about the money, thinking about the money, thinking about the money. And that's when I really performed at my worst as a salesperson. You have to detach yourself from the money. And it might sound easy, but it's not. Because knowing that you can make $1,000 or £500 or dollars from one call, one 30-minute call, that's a bit crazy, right? Because I'm sure a lot of you have had jobs. Think about how many hours you have to work to make that kind of money, and you can do it in 30 minutes. So it's something that took me a while to get over, and what helped me was just really understanding and coming to terms with the fact that money will just come. I just focus on myself, being present, focusing on my prospect, and having their best interests at heart, and the rest will come. And it has, and it did. And so now let's look at beliefs in the business that you represent and the service that you represent. So the prospect obviously needs to have trust and faith that what you do works. And it might be hard at first for the prospect to understand that because it's an online business, right? You only see so much online. It isn't like the real kind of world, I guess, where you can like truly see it with your eyes. It takes a lot more trust because you're also dealing with everyone through Zoom, everything like this, and you just have to kind of, I guess, take their word for it almost. And that takes a lot of trust, and obviously asking good questions and, you know, building that transparency and building that belief in you as the salesperson actually does help with this. But the most important thing here is you work with a business that truly smashes it at getting results so that you have unwavering conviction throughout the entire sales call. And not only that, but just knowing that what you do works is like, it's great because it means that you know that what you do has value. You bring value to the business and to the world and to people as a whole, which is a great thing to have. And so businesses, and a great way to do this, right, if you're a closer, is you ask the business to share as many testimonials as they can, make content as well to show the business as an authority figure and that they know what they're doing. And again, the rest will just come. And on sales calls, what you can do is you can share testimonials with conviction as well and success stories. And on top of that, it's about having a good pitch that's easy to understand and something that leaves the prospect very little questions at the end. Your pitch needs to let the prospect know, okay, this is what's going to happen when I join, this is how it's going to work, etc., etc., etc. I can keep going, but it's literally those two things are the main one. What does the service look like for me? Right? And making sure you're tailoring that to your prospect, and then also understanding like what happens after. Right? It's not just about the service, but what happens after this call. Because again, it's online, so that means it's not affecting your day-to-day life, unless you're selling, let's say, like for a fitness coach, right? Where that is a lot of that, day-to-day stuff. But at the same time, that's also online, and so it takes a lot of discipline for the prospect to like actually do the workout. But those are the most important things, right? And to kind of recap what we've spoken about in this video, it's truly, sales is bullshit, really, especially the way it gets spoken about online. I think, people are looking at it in a very sleazy way of this one trick will help you do this. These 3 things are going to improve your close rate. Asking this one question will make you $1 million. And it's just like corny and just completely like bullshit, in all honesty, because it's all about well and truly shifting beliefs. That's it. Belief shifting. BS sales. Belief shifting sales. Okay? The belief in themselves, the belief in you, and the belief in the business and the service. Now, you can feel free to watch this back, take notes, right? I hope you have taken notes. If not, rewatch it and take some notes. And feel free to ask questions, key takeaways, anything. On my Instagram, whatever. I'd be more than happy to chat. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I'll catch you guys soon.